Alright, hello. Remember when I made the Wisp video about the 5 status Shards shit? And I said, oh, I will get a Sunika Kubrow and showcase this. Well, he's here. He's formed up, he ate a bunch, and he's extremely overpowered. I know you saw a bunch of the stats already, but it's not quite the build. This is the build. Now he will have even more stats, which is gonna be even funnier. And goddamn. So yeah, almost 470% status chance, 72% crit chance, which is actually more, and I will go into that a bit. And 14 times critical damage. So, first of all, why is this not 72.7% critical chance, and why is it more? Well, when you have a pet and you have mods that link some part of your Warframe or your weapon onto the pet, then your actual pet gets the link conversion live even inside of the mission. And I will showcase this with Link Vitality very easily. So Link Vitality, what it does, it increases health by 125% of Warframe's max health. So what I want to do is I want to cast my moat right here so that this guy won't actually take it. So as you see, he doesn't have it, but his max HP is way more than 1254 now. And if he actually walks to it, thanks. You see now he actually increases the max health even more and even gains the regen. So simply me on Wisp getting the extra max health from my mods increases the actual health that he has. So what happens to crit chance? Why is crit chance increased by this? Because Wisp has an augment on her 3 called Critical Surge. This was a part of the actual build that you saw in the other video. And it decreases the primary weapon's critical chance by 250%. And pets have this mod called Hunter Synergy, which increases the weapon critical chance from the primary weapon. It's a link mod that takes critical chance from the primary weapon and puts it in the companion. So when we get the extra 250% crit chance onto the Paris Prime, that will actually benefit from this mod, and it will take the crit chance closer to 100 to 105%, something like that. I've seen it orange crit, but very rarely, so it must be a tiny bit above 100%. This also works the same way with the Mecha Overdrive mode, which is what is giving us the absurd status chance that you're seeing, which makes this mode and, you know, the Archon Swords that I'm showcasing absolutely insane on a Warframe like Citrine. So what are the results then? We have this guy. We have a Sunika Kubrow. What are the results now that he's built? Well, because he's gonna absolutely go and massacre the Eximus instantly, I'm gonna get all the buffs first and then Spellman. And we're gonna see that he reaches them, he attacks the poor guy, and they're all dead. Yeah, that's how OP it is. And the best part, because you're Wisp, if you jump up and you just keep doing this, you will be permanently invisible. Which means that you have an invisible doggo just doing everything and one-shotting everyone while you're doing nothing. I'll just showcase 5-minute survival mission and this video will be over. I don't think I need to showcase anything more. This has to be one of the most stupid builds I've ever tried on this Warframe. I'm going Grineer because I don't see the reason to go anything else. I mean, everything dies way too quickly anyways. Like, they will die. It doesn't matter. So, whoa, what was that? Okay. New parkour movements type shits. So yeah, 1, 2, give him this. Just climb up a bit, let him do his thing. Attack one person, they're all dead. And yeah, we can just kind of stand AFK and just let him be. We don't even need to attack anything. We can attack anything. It will, you know, do stuff, but I think just not attacking anything and letting him play on his own is significantly better because he's also invisible while you're doing this. Although sometimes, if you don't attack for long, I think it triggers the fact that you wanna get stealth multipliers and all that. So it doesn't actually attack the enemies itself. But generally it will just, yeah, massacre them. All of them. Which is pretty funny. So yeah, for example here you see he's not attacking anything. This is exactly what I'm talking about. In order for him to do something again, I need to attack. So go attack and now he will start going again. And contagious bond and yeah. Just like that. So quite nice. Very strong, and you know, you can just use your secondary, it doesn't matter. If you have a very strong secondary, you can just have the Paris as a primer weapon to help this guy out, do his thing, and just prime something with your secondary, or even use your secondary to kill stuff, like I'm doing with the Fox here. And he's also very tanky because obviously I'm playing Wisp and he gets the extra health benefits and all that. So he won't really die. But I feel like, you know, it's funny, I don't even use Summoner's Wrath on this build. If I did use Summoner's Wrath on this build, that's a 75% Bane. As far as I know. As far as I've been experimenting with it, so... yeah. Even more craziness for that dog. You know. It's not the fact that he's killing too many people or he's doing like something crazy, because he does have the ability that is AoE and he can like do the funny and all that. But the more important part is the amount of damage he's doing. Like this guy is one-shotting any unit he will see. Any unit he sees is just dead in on sight. And I think that's the most important, ridiculous part, whatever you want to say. That he just runs around and murders anything that moves. And, you know, you can make this even better. If we make a dedicated build for this guy, like we can go with a secondary kit gun maybe. Put some theorem mods, increase his elemental damage even more, but honestly I don't feel like I need to. He kind of just runs around and kills everyone already. He's kind of a one-man army, this guy. Yeah, I mean, look at that. It just, yeah. If the enemy density was higher, we would see so much contagious bond stuff happening, and I might want to do that with the funny Elara tileset. I think that would be a very funny way to send off the video. I really want to see what he's gonna do to the Acolyte. I really want to see what he's gonna do to the Acolyte. That could be super fun, you know? Goodbye. There's just too low enemy density. He runs at someone, he kills them, and then that's it. Where is he? Where is he going? Yo, come back here. Why is this guy still dying? Okay. Alright. Go get him, Chief. Oh. That's the Eximus, one more hits. And goodbye. And they're all the procs. You know, Mecha said is very funny. This Hound is also very funny. I don't think I would take it over a Kavat personally. Because Kavats and the Panzerwulpafeile are way too useful, especially for a Warframe like Wisp. But I gotta say, it's impressive how much damage he's doing. It is very impressive. Will he hit the Acolyte? Well, he targeted him. Let's see. Oh. I believe I hit myself with a pox. Crap. Not optimal, Hound. I need to kill them to revive. I said Hound. This is a dog. I wanted to res and bro killed everyone. Yeah, okay. There is a small price to pay for what he's doing, I guess. Holy shit. Also, holy... how much damage did the pokes deal to me? My bad, I guess. I didn't even realize I shot myself. Because I dashed out of it and then I ran back in it with the pokes. Very funny. Hey, it's all good. Let's see that funny damage number from Contagious Bond on Alara. I think that will be very epic. I love how I said hounds. I'm just so used to the hound doing that exact thing that we just saw. The difference between this and the hound, in my opinion, is the fact that the hound primes for you and your weapons, and it does kill base Stillpath. Outside of base Stillpath, like if the levels go up way higher, the hound's damage is gonna fall off drastically, while this guy just scales really fucking well, so... you're not really gonna see him not kill an enemy unless the enemy is like level cap. I think even at level cap he will just kill the enemy, absolutely destroy them. The stats are just way too insane if you can keep it alive. Now, keeping it alive, you know, it's definitely something. But with Wisp it gets a bit easier for the early levels especially. And then he can just chill after that. So, yeah. Let's see what he will do. A Logi. Okay, we instantly see 14 million damage. Okay. Yep. Yep, that's damage cap, damage cap, damage cap, damage cap. Alright, well, yeah, it took me 20 seconds. Let's see how much damage he dealt. What the fuck? Okay. It took me literally nothing. I will show you guys the e.log file real quick so you can see how much damage he actually dealt, because I am curious as well. So here's the .log file. If you're curious how you find this file, it's basically in your users folder on your PC. Like your exact user, and then you have to go to a file called appdata. If you don't know how to find that, then, you know, Google. Google is your friend. So you scroll up after the mission is over, because it has to start loading the textures for your ship and all that stuff. And just go where it was towards the end of the mission, which you will immediately know what it is once you see it, because it will have some interesting stuff, definitely, like this one. So this is, yeah, that is 6 trillion damage. That is 6.7 trillion damage right there. What we just saw was, yeah, this is 1.7 trillion right here. That's why it just jumped after onto the next enemy. So, yeah, what we just saw was the Kubrow absolutely scaling exponentially with Contagious Bond and Roar, and going to damage cap in, I think, like 3 bounces. It usually takes like 7 to 8 bounces, but the Sunika Kubrow just doesn't care. There is so many damage numbers above damage cap, it's not even funny. I'm still scrolling up. This is still above damage cap. This is the first number that is not above damage cap. The very first number that is not above damage cap is like all the way up here. Holy shit, and it keeps going. These are millions, like hundreds of millions. What the hell? Okay, so yeah, 6 trillion damage. I think 6 trillion damage is very funny. So yeah, let me just showcase the biz one last time. Obviously, these are the star of the show, and this Wisp build, in case you don't know, is absolutely insane on its own. And this showcase could have been even better if I added this instead, and if I played with the funny arcane, Theorem Infection. In case you don't know, the residual arcane increases damage of companions and summoned allies within 90 meters by 24% per second, which is stacking up to 15 times. So, yeah, that is a pretty free, I would say, 360% elemental damage of your choice onto your pet. And, you know, as long as you match it, so it becomes a dot, including with whatever dots you have it mod, then, yeah, you get pretty much triple the damage here on the base damage. And it gets pretty funny. But yeah, that's the Wisp build, the Paris build itself. You know, this mod, absolutely overpowered, not gonna lie. This is the reason why the Paris is, in my opinion, the strongest bow, just because of this mod. And my Raven is status chance and critical damage. You know, if it was status chance and critical chance and negative, that would have been the craziest one by far. But as you can see, this is simply a primer Paris, so to say. But it can actually one-shot if you just headshot someone, so, you know, that's actually kind of funny. And I wonder why it one-shots. My god, why does it have 700% status chance? Yeah. The Kubrow itself, pretty standard, I would say, for a mecha Kubrow. And the mecha claws, once again, pretty standard for mecha claws. I don't know. Random claws are nice. You can take them out. I think they're really funny, especially with the amount of crit chance that I can get. But I don't see what you can change here at all. Obviously, any poster of your choice. I just think the assassin posture with the Sunika ability of Unleashed, it works really well together, and it relies on this guy to one-shot and then spread contagious bomb to everyone, so it helps a lot like that. So yeah, Doggo is cool, yeah? It's pretty cool. I also cannot pet him. Amazing. I wanted to pet him, but the game doesn't let. I love it. I think it's very funny. Will he be one of my main pets? Probably not. I will stick to Adarza, because Adarza is broken in my opinion. But he is very, very good, and I would recommend anybody that actually wants to try this build to probably do it on someone like Rhino, and then change the Kubrow build a bit by swapping Link Vitality with Prime Pack Leader, and then playing Rhino with a melee weapon so you can keep the Kubrow alive through the Overguard. I think that's gonna work way, way better. But, you know, your game, your choice, my suggestion. So, with that, I thank you very much for watching another video of mine, and I will see you on the next one.